Welcome everyone, I'm Lucy, and in this class we're going to learn how to run good quality one-on-ones. By one-on-ones, I mean that individual time you have with the people on your team who report to you and whose success you are largely responsible for. Now, who really looks forward to running their one-on-ones? Not many of you. Well, that is not surprising, and also a little bit of a shame. If your one-on-ones have become a huge time and energy drain, this class is for you. Over the years of coaching, we've helped countless leaders improve the quality of their one-on-ones and give that whole area of responsibility a new lease of life. A lot of times I've heard things like, "My one-on-ones don't seem to be that productive anymore," or "I wonder how much the other person is really getting out of them," or "I really dread having to do them." If these resonate with you, then you are most definitely not alone. It's really easy to get stuck in a rut with one-on-ones, where they've slowly diminished in efficiency, efficacy, and just as importantly, fun. As leaders, you spend so much of your day in one-on-one meetings that if we can't get some joy out of them, then that's really a bit miserable. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you generally rate the quality of your one-on-ones? I'm going to show you our 6 basic rules for running great one-on-ones. So without further ado, let's get into them. Rule 1, decide together what the purpose of your time is. A lot of the time, I hear managers worried because they're struggling to decide what a good use of time is. It's easy to feel like it's all your responsibility to make the perfect one-on-one meeting every time. Well, it's not. It's really mostly your direct report's responsibility to decide how they would like to use that small amount of time they have with you. That time is very precious for them, and that's why I'd suggest designing the overall purpose together. I'd also suggest having this conversation on a quarterly basis at least. And here's how to open that conversation. I'd like to check in on how you feel our one-on-one time is going. How productive do you feel our time is, and what could we do to make them more useful from your perspective? And then share your thoughts too, as this is something to really collaborate on. Rule number 2, decide how frequently they should be. Not everyone needs the same amount of time with you as other people do. At one point in time, a direct report may need more time from you than another direct report, and a couple of months down the line, that may swap over. So to make the best of your own schedule, don't feel like everyone needs the same. Ask, "Hey, over the next quarter, I want to make sure we're getting the cadence of our meetings right. How do you feel about an hour every other week instead of meeting weekly?" This is a great way to make your one-on-one stay fresh and to keep you in control over your time. Rule number 3, find a time in the week where they won't get cancelled. It's a quick way to lose trust from your team to keep cancelling one-on-ones. No one feels good about that. It says, "You're really not at the top of my priority list, and something more important than you has come up." Now, obviously, every now and again, it's totally fine to cancel, just not on a regular basis. Also, aside from cancelling, just finding a sensible time in the week when you have the energy is really important. I've heard this so much from leaders in my coaching sessions. "I'm really dreading Tuesdays because I have all my one-on-ones back to back." And I'm like, why? It's really important to bring energy and enthusiasm to your one-on-ones, or it really doesn't send the right message. Nothing worse than sitting in front of a manager who has a face of stone. Split them up across the week and do them at times of day when you have the most energy. Rule number 4, ask your direct reports to prepare in advance. Remember I was saying that this is their time? Well, you can set the expectation that they should come prepared. There are so many things that you may need to see from them, and this is where they need to do their part managing up, giving you the right amount of visibility. Is there data that you need to see each week? team or project updates if they manage a team themselves? What information do you need from them in order to really do your job? Rule number 5, be prepared yourself. I know this is a little easier said than done, but a small amount of preparation can go a really long way. Is there a piece of feedback that you'd like to give them this week, that you'd like to plan out quickly? Have they done something really great that you'd like to praise or acknowledge them for? Is there some information from senior leadership that you need to remember to tell them? Have they sent you a pre-read of updates to make a better use of time in person? I'd suggest setting aside 15 minutes somewhere for this a week for each person on your team. Alternatively, if that's hard to schedule, I had a client recently who felt like he couldn't possibly make time to prepare properly in his calendar. So he decided to make each of his one-on-ones 45 minutes instead of the full hour. So he always had 15 minutes at the beginning to prepare. Even though this made his one-on-one shorter, they were way more productive. Rule 6, agree the agenda before you begin. Simple, good meeting hygiene, but it's easy to forget to do. Just take a moment to plan together the time you have to make sure you get through the most important items. Be realistic about what you can get done too. It's a bit deflating from both sides to have a bunch of items that you never get to every week. Lastly, here is a few obvious reminders of things to include in your one-on-ones. Number 1 is to remember to really check in on how your direct reports are doing. Not just a cursory, how are you, but really checking in. How has your week been? What's been a real win for you? What are you worried about at the moment? How are you getting on with the rest of the team? Are you enjoying the work that you're doing? Do you feel like what you're doing is impactful, etc.? This is particularly important with remote employees, where we don't have those around the office interactions from time to time. Second reminder is to periodically, at least every quarter, have a career goals discussion with your direct reports and check in on how they're feeling about their career progress. These can be very illuminating discussions for you as a leader and be very valuable to your team members too. A consistent criticism I get when I collect feedback for leaders I'm coaching is that they don't have career discussions with individuals nearly often enough. Remember to give people praise in each one-on-one. Find something you've noticed that they did really well. Maybe they collaborated with another partner really effectively. Maybe they worked half the weekend. Maybe they took something off another team member's plate to be kind. Maybe they put a lot of effort into something. It will always be well received, and it'll really help them grow. So in this class, we've looked at 6 rules for running successful one-on-ones. Decide together what the purpose of your time is. Decide how frequent they should be. Find a sensible time in the week when they won't get cancelled. Ask your direct reports to prepare in advance. Be prepared yourself. And agree on the agenda before you begin. What's one thing you're going to do differently to level up the quality of your one-on-ones? What do you need to do to make that happen? Make sure you write it down. Good luck, and let us know how you get on.